Hello and welcome back, my friends, to Factorio Vanilla. I am Icon and we are recording episode 7, Time Flies. And today we're going to be finishing up the starter base. Today's also going to be an episode full of conquest and exploration, because the biggest topic right now is where to. I don't have a good idea where I want to expand right now, and therefore we're going to set up new radar panels, and I'm going to bring up a facility to produce one military science pack per second as well. So these are today's goals, my friends, and if you haven't done so already, feel free to drop a subscription on my channel. You'll make me very happy and you won't miss any future content. So I'd really like to start up with the military science packs. The military science packs are so far the most complicated product we're going to make for a factory, because we're not only needing 3 different types of manufactured goods, we're going to need one good which has been doubly refined. The piercing rounds magazines consist out of regular firearms magazines and steel plates. None of these we're actually having right now, and the biters are growing more and more fierce, and thus I feel like today we're going to talk a lot about military and domination and such things, because the biters have to be shown their places. Finally, the gun turret production is at a spot where I'm happy with, and the military science pack recipe once used to have gun turrets as well. It's a long time before, but I'm really happy that we're not suffering these times anymore. So first off, I want to get down here and repair what has been damaged. So today I'm also going to remove a few biter nests, I think. I don't know if everything I have up on my plan will be getting done during today's episode, because these are a lot of things that I have on my plate here. Okay, so a few more turrets. We just keep rearming ourselves. If they start hurting, build more turrets. That's the basic code of conduct. So between the last episode and this episode, I already set up some schematics on how to do that. So this is one of those products where I feel like, yes, you can calculate that, how to do that, but I'm not that kind of person. We're going to produce this step by step. So I've set up recipes for every single step. I'm going to start out with the least complicated, and those are the walls. We're just going to need one assembling machine for walls there. So since I already have that, basically, I'm going to skip that part. The only thing I'm going to need to do later on is to pipe that out of that chest, and we're good. So next step, the grenades. Grenades are made out of coal and iron plates. So raw coal was so far none of our materials we worked with, so we're getting more and more strain on our coal resources little by little, and we have to bring up 5 units of coal per second for this. This means we need 10 mining units just to satisfy the amount of hand grenades there. That sounds like a lot, but it's actually not. So we're going to set this up like that. Here go the 10 miners we need, and let's just connect that with belts and get that over to the facility to be. I just realized this direction is better. Sometimes I have my second thoughts. So I don't want to interfere with the production lines of my smelters or my power plant, because this starts to be a little bit complicated at this point. But at the same time, oh, I forgot to plug them in, silly me. At the same time, this keeps everything quite manageable. I mean, right now I'm ogling down to these spots, like 4.2 million units of coal there. It's a lot better than those 300k. This is a very small patch after all, and that's why I'm not taking the management of this patch too seriously here. Compared to where we're headed, the area, the ore patches where you start in the starting area, that's what I wanted to say, are under standard settings always a lot smaller than what you're finding further out there. As far as I know, the further you get away from your starting point, the larger the deposits get. So I haven't double checked that information, but it sure looked a lot like that. So if there's anybody having the urge to look that up, feel free to drop a comment down below. So we have now the coal we need, and that brings everything I need. So since this will need 8 assembling machines, I want to research today automation 2. This brings us the tier 2 assembling machine, so let's quickly research that. It really goes quite quick with this kind of setup, as you might see. Oh, we're getting visitors. So overall, the defenses are holding tight quite well. So, because if I do this with the tier 2 assembling machines, we can reduce the amount of machines to 6. And at this point, I really enjoy reducing the amount of machines already. So lab research speed is a technology I definitely want to have, and I can only advertise it. It increases your research speed. Period. Okay, that works out. And why wouldn't we want it? Okay, so now we're going to need a few more of those, but you see assembling machine tier 2 needs steel. So I'm going to produce myself some steel as well. I already have it up here. We're going to need 0.5 units of steel for the production of these clips. And yeah, we're going to need 8 furnaces for that. So this will expand our facility by a lot. And because of that, I'm going to produce the military science up here, because we're certainly getting now towards the last big quest on this starter factory. And then we're going to head over to larger adventures. Okay. So, raw coal for the furnaces is something I still need. I'm going to use the coal, which I'm going to use for the hand grenades, because this is, for me, the cleanest way to do that. We're only needing a amount of 0.2 units per second, so let me just plug in another miner to satisfy that little thing, and then we're going to be continuing the production here. I think I'm just going to plug in miners over here. Be creative with that, and don't be shy to use the overproduction button. I really like to go a little bit more towards overproduction, because I like to say there's no kill like an overkill. And what I mean with that is you don't need to waste too many thoughts on something if you just can overachieve on that goal. Like here, I just dropped in like 3 more miners. These will even keep that whole thing alive. I'm going to pause here. Once the first miners run dry. So there's most of the time even something good about that. But one thing you should never try to over exceed, and that's the maximum capacity of your belt. There's almost never any real benefit about that. Most of the time you're just making your throughput worse, because your belts are like the veins of your factory. They need to transport things, and if you're putting in too much, if you're trying to put through much volume through a vein, then it's going to get stuck. Nobody has anything from that. Well, that's maybe a little bit of a weird thing, but whatever. So we're going to do something quite similar as the last time. So remember that splitting? I'm going to do that again. So for the colds, how I'm going to do that? A half belt should be okay. Let me check something I haven't thought about yet. Yeah, it's going to be okay. So I'm going to cut it here to make sure that I keep my inventory as clean as possible. All right, so now we can connect them back, a little bit of that. And now I only have half a belt of that stuff. And now all I need to do is plug in the iron plates, and voila, my little steel factory to go is ready. So even though this belt now has iron plates on it, this is actually going to be exactly what I'm using for the grenades as well. So I'm going to use this belt doubly. So if it doesn't make sense now, it'll make sense in a moment. Don't worry. I'm going to get there. The circle will close. So, oh, that lab research speed is going along nicely. And, oh, the first turrets are out of ammo. We gotta work quicker, friends. So, what I want to do here is, I'm going to produce more than those 8 furnaces for the steel. I'm going to put up a little bit more than that to accommodate a little bit more steel production, just to give me a little extra to work with. Because as you might have already assumed, we're going to do larger steel smelting factories later on. Of course, we want to try to maximize the output of steel as well, so that means 15 units of steel in one belt if possible. I'm not sure how long we're going to work on that, but well, you need long-term goals at some point. Okay, lab research speed has been done. Now I'm going to research stronger explosives because we're going to work with them quite soon-ish. Alright, so let's power up them boys here. And there's one thing though. This place stinks, so we need turrets. And since I have them now on mass production, they finally can live on a hotbar place here. So I'm going to put down a few more of those. And the steel is getting cooked now. Alright, so let's get back to the ammo place and probably crank up the volume of it a little bit, but at the same time, I'm not too interested in that. Ah, well, let's do it anyways. I don't want to use too much yellow ammo anymore because, well, red ammo is a lot better. Period. There's nothing the yellow ammo can do better than the red ammo, except for being part of the recipe for the red ammo. But well, it's better than nothing to begin with. Alright, so stronger explosives are through. And I'm going to rush towards landfill now next because I've seen I have to cross a little gap of water to get to a oil deposit there. So possibly. I don't know if I'm really going to use that oil deposit or if we're going to... Well, this one is really small. But at least down there is oil. One part of the process right now for me is trying to find out where we're going to live in a longer term. So now that I have the steel, I can fetch myself some level 2 assembling machines, of course, after grabbing some iron plates. So why is that looking like this? Oh, well, getting stolen all over here. Okay. So, oh gosh, let's pick up some pre-products as well. From time to time, I really like to plunder my place. So, landfill has been researched. Let's go for logistics level 2 as well. So, so we might already have assumed, of course, those yellow transport belts are not the top-notch technology in the game. Look at that, how quickly we got those assemblers Okay, I want to start up with the hand grenades now. So we're going to put up 6 machines for that. And, well, wow, there's a really shortage of iron plates up here, but I went on a plundering spree, so it's on me here. So the tier 2 assembling machine, I haven't talked properly about it yet, so let's introduce it properly. I'm sorry, got a little bit hasty there. So the biggest change between these two bad boys is crafting speed has been upped by 0.25 units to 0.75, and the pollution has been diminished by 1 unit per minute. And the energy consumption is higher. So overall, you need more energy to facilitate those things, but at the same time, you get a lot more bang for your buck. So let's go like this. Once the shortages have settled, it's going to be all right. So let's produce the grenades here. There we go. So again, shift right click to pick up the recipe, shift left click to copy the recipe. So we're getting attacked at all angles. The pollution is spreading. Well, so let's check out the amount of inserters. We're going to need like 2 inserters per machine for the input. So let's do that. And 1 for the output. One day when we got robots researched, we're just going to place down the blueprints where we want to have things, and that's that. So right now I'm going to output into this direction. I'm immediately going to plug them in, because even though there's not really any iron plate in sight, they'll come back for once, and wow, this is really a lot of strain on this. I think let's check out one more thing. So there's iron plate on that and iron plate on that, yeah. So I think the easiest way to solve my situation here is another thing to do. I'll just let it go like this. We're not going to splitter away anything. The steel production just needs a lot of iron plates, and this is the end of the line, so this is getting supplied quite slowly. I just plundered a lot of circuits and everything, and right now what we're waiting for is that all these units are done with getting their thresholds produced, and then the rest of that will flow up there. That's why I put up a limit on my chests. And that's why I'm talking so much about it, because I think this illustrates quite nicely why limits on your chests are very, very important. So electric energy distribution tier 1 brings the medium electric pole and the big electric pole. That's it's really nice to have those. All right. So long story short, I'm not having enough iron plates for this place, but I'm not the least little bit surprised. But overall, the good thing here is, as so far, this facility here is needing less than 15 units of iron plates per second. So that means I can satisfy this array after all the other things are done producing. So we just gotta be patient on that. All right, enough talking about that. I just felt like this was a good point to explain a little bit of that. So I'm going to use another feature of the Helmod and put up a little tab, a little bill, and we're going to produce this ammunition now. So we're needing the steel. I took care of that. I have steel now. We're going to need yellow ammo mags, and we need only 1 facility where those get produced. And my miners get eaten. Excuse me, please, a second. So this is something I haven't seen. I haven't foreseen. I didn't expect them to attack down there. So don't be as dumb as I am. Be smarter than me. just put up gun turrets basically everywhere, because the further your run goes, the more thorough the biters will get with their attacks. Alright, so we lost 2 entities here. If you mouse over something like that, you also get a precise readout about what got destroyed. So keep an eye out for that. It's quite useful to know, because without that readout, I don't think that I would have realized that a piece of belt was broken. So they also ate a cable tower. So there we go. Let's leave the future biters some nice greetings from the factory, and let's get back to topic. Alright, so I'm going to need 1 factory for yellow mags, and then I'm going to have 3 factories for the reds. That's going to be quite an easy thing. So, considering everything, I'm going to meld the steel production, meld the steel belt and the ammo belt together. Alright. So this is going to be a very, very inefficient thing at the beginning, but it's going to get more and more efficient the further we get. So there we go. I'm going to need a lot of inserters on this one. And I'm going to output via a long-handed inserter. Oh, I'm so silly. You saw that, right? That's okay. Sometimes. Oh well, I'll just leave it here for now. I haven't fully decided where things will go. So, electric energy distribution done. So, we're going to head over to nothing specific now, because most of these technologies are not really necessary right now, and look at it coming through here. So slowly these are getting filled up. Oh, so you see here why my plan doesn't work? Alright, so sometimes ideas just don't work as you want them to, but there's always a way to make them work, just like this. Watch it. This'll do exactly the magic the other thing didn't do. There we go. So, last thing necessary will be the copper plates, but I think it's going to be quite an elegant thing to do if we pipe them through here. Just so. Oops. Because this way I can lengthen that copper over here and bring those guys over here. And now I have everything I need for the red ammo right there. Like shift right click, shift left click. I know I keep repeating that a lot, but it really needs to seep into your muscle memory. So there we go. Well, gotta place it down like this because I don't want to pick up any more things from that belt. All right, so we're good with one yellow inserter. When was the last time I was able to say something like that? Okay, now then, almost there, friends, almost there. So gray science packs are the first science packs which are featuring some sort of a challenge, I think. Of course, we're going to need red inserters as well. Silly me, forgot about those. Okay, so that production chain now is fully satisfied, and we're going to head back to the big recipe now. The big recipe needs those walls, so we're going to produce some more walls as well. So, or we're just piping them out, like I said, because the production is already there. It's always nice to have to be ahead of yourself a little bit when you have some things like these in your mind, always remember one thing. There's always a use for everything in this game. Unless you downloaded a really bad mod, which doesn't feature any use for those items, but shame on the modder then. But what I try to say here is everything you can produce has some value, and if you want to produce it and you don't know why you want to produce it or for what reason, just do it, and you'll find out for what for on the way. Okay, so one more thing that I want to do is I want to get more ammo, but I think that's something I'm going to bench a little bit. So for now, I'm going to defend my place furthermore with yellow mags. So there we go. I don't know, maybe I'll set up some ammo factory right next to this to for my private needs. I'm not sure. Haven't thought about this yet fully. So I want to produce the gray science packs also with the tier 2 assembling machines, because we're just saving some room while doing so. So we need 7 of those. Let's produce them. Okay, but I'm going to need a lot of items as well. So how are we going to manage them? So here go the walls. I think the walls are just asking for a T merger here. There we go. So this is a one thing of the one part of the recipe. So yeah, I think here seems to be a good spot, or well, no. If anything, we're going to produce them here. So let's no, it's also not too good. So right now I'm just looking for a place where I can arrange those guys safely, but I think I'm going to stick with this here. Yeah, just need to rearrange my outputs a little bit, or my inputs much more. So we're going to relay the ammo into this direction, and I'm going to let this stuff over here roll like that. I'm leaving a little bit more room here out of a quite specific reason. Alright, so these are the ingredients, and now we're going to copy that, shift right click, shift left click, and so inserters are only 1 per machine. Isn't that lovely? Science is always quite nice when it comes to when we're talking about the hunger for inserters. Okay, so let's put down some power poles here and there, and now I'm going to output like that. And this was the reason why I wanted to have a little bit more room, because we're going to pipe it through here. So there we go. I know those walls are taking quite a long travel time until they're hitting the floor here, but oh well, what can I say? Oh, there's one more thing missing, of course, the red inserters for the other things on the belts. Alright, so that's gray science, and this is everything the starter base needs to be. The only thing which I think I want to add in here is production of red ammo for my turrets. But since red ammo eats steel, I'm not sure if I'm really going to do that, but I think this is going to be the last thing to do on the starter base to get myself a nice and steady surplus of, let's check that out, needs 5 units of brick per minute. I'm not satisfying that. So, how much brick does this thing actually need? Does this really eat a full unit of wall per second? Because if so, I'm not producing enough walls. Let's check that out. Yeah, so I'm going to... I need to up my production here a little bit. So, how many miners are there? 19. Okay, but that's a quite simple operation, isn't it? So, if you realize things like those are happening, it's not a problem at all. So, how many would I need again? So, just checking out how many are in one. So, 0.313. Oh boy. Now that's a helpful readout, isn't it? So, we're going to make it like that for now. It looks a little bit funky if you do it like that, but... There are two different things. Aesthetics and a working grid. Alright, so let's check out what kind of throughput we have here now. 4.35, 2 more. So, I mean, this way I have a very simple way of adding more machines if needed. It looks a little bit weird, I think, personally. But whatever works, right? So let's check it out. Now we got those 5. Nice. Alright. Just wanted to make sure that everything here is working fine. But when we're doing something like that... Oh, there's a nice moment to show off the fast inserters. This is a mission for fast inserters, friends. So this is one of those situations where I would need 6 basic inserters. Yeah, never mind. Where I would need 6 basic inserters. Fast inserters are, just like the name implies, pretty fast. And, it's dying. Where's something dying? Everything alright? I guess so. So, now everything here seems to be working out fine. I don't like it if machineries are really hanging through like that. I want to. It's not really necessary, but I want to. Okay. So we got this ruled out. There's gray signs available for all the laboratories now, but I missed out one thing, and that's bringing up inserters for all the laboratories. And I think that's going to ring in the outro for today because we're quite good here. I need to up the defenses there too. All right. So exploration will be the next part. I'm going to drop down some more radar panels in the future because now I want to check out in which direction my factory should grow, because it has become quite clear. I don't want to use piercing rounds. It has become quite clear that with that stuff I'm having here, I'm not getting too far. Like, it's all nice and dandy, but it's just too little of everything. So we're going to look for bigger resource patches. Okay, so now every laboratory will need a long-handed and a short inserter in the right direction to pick up the gray science packs as well. So if there's only a yellow one, you need a red one. If there's only a red one, you need a yellow one. It's a very solid yet very simple concept. And if the colors of signs are getting more, you just need to start running the next colors would be running outside of the box, basically. So you could add up belts like these here, so like that, and then you could feed even more colors into these laboratories. But we're far away from that. The good thing now, I can increase my damage on all the things again, because I have now the gray signs available. And if we look it up here, now we need 300 units of science, so The production amounts are increasing. Are increasing always. So right now I'm not having the right amount of iron plates available for this facility. So there are always a few things that you should try to better out and to strengthen. Like this concept here suffers from its one strain of iron trying to satisfy all the needs. I could make this complete thing work a lot better if I had a second smelter array for the iron to satisfy the space, because before we get into the outro I want to show you guys one crazy thing about this. So if I use my MaxRateCalculator tool here, I'm having a readout that this whole facility would try to consume 75 pieces of plate per second if everything would be running at max capacity non-stop. So I'm not surprised that 15, it's only a sixth of the necessary amount, or no, a fifth of the necessary amount are just not enough. So we would be needing to up our production by a lot to satisfy all that, but I'm not going to. This place here can work slowly and inefficiently, but at some point it'll get there, and that's all I need from my starter base. So my friends, thank you so much for watching. Next episode I'm going to work a little bit more with the radars, and we're going to go to war with those biters, because I've had it with those boys. We're going to attack them right where it hurts, and we're going to introduce a few strategies how to do that on the next episode. So hoping that you're going to check that out as well, and I'm also hoping that you might leave a like or even a subscription on my channel if you haven't done so. It means a lot to me. Whatever might be the case, I hope you're having a wonderful time, and see you then. Goodbye.